Listen, I'm not going to talk to you about the politics of this. I'm not going to talk to you about where I stand, because honestly I stand nowhere in that sphere. I don't give a crap about politics. Maybe I should. What I do give a crap about is human nature and human beings, and the fact that we are all so capable of more. But time and time again through history, we just keep letting ourselves down. England right now is a prime example of this. Misinformation spread, and before anything was confirmed, riots, violence. Or in the name of what? What does that prove? It's so funny. When someone is so sure that someone else is in the wrong, they think that justifies anything. You think you're proving a point by all this violence, but let's say you're right. These people you're fighting against are terrible. They're ruining our country. But my friend, they're not the ones smashing up people's windows. They're not the ones making people scared to actually live inside their home. British values. What is British values? What actually is it? Saying Britain for the Britain, no one else can come in. To me, that's not very valuable. That sounds like gatekeeping for something that isn't even valuable in the first place. You are not better than them, than anyone who has ever committed an act of terrorism, because that's what it's been. No one asked for this. There was one act of violence that was terrible. So you've used that to justify many acts of violence. And what are you even rioting? What? Your freedom? Because it's not going that way now. You've started something that is going to put us all in shackles. They can't even trust us. You're a slave to your own anger. You're a slave to your own stupid opinions. Being a human being, it should be about experiences. It should be about connecting, seeing people that are different to you, but trying to get an understanding into their world, experiencing different cultures, different ways of life. But you want this place to just be just for you and all your boys that have grown up here. Why? Just because you were born here? Who told you that meant anything? You were born on a bit of rock. A stupid bit of rock. And you think that gives you the right to defend it and attack people because they weren't born on the same bit of rock? Do you know how stupid that is? You make me sick. You make me disappointed to be a human being. Because we are the only creature on earth that can think for ourselves this much, and look at what we've done with it. Hundreds of years, war. Sheep-like thinking, rioting. And now condemning someone just because they have a different belief to you, a different religion. Because they are born somewhere else. I don't know who convinced you why that is important. But it's not. What is important is people living in harmony. People standing side by side, able to have a conversation, a debate about their differing opinions, but at the end of the day still go for a pint, still share a meal. Not try and gouge each other's eyes out because of the colour of their skin. And it's not even about the stabbings, is it? It started like that, yeah, sure. But some of you really just wanted to use it as an excuse to be violent. It had nothing to do with Islam, but you brought them into it. I know someone who knows someone whose house there was an attempted break-in and it was graffitied and violent words put all over their doors. You know why? Just because that person happened to be black, living in the neighbourhood with a bunch of people that didn't want them there. That person was born in England just like you. But his heritage might have been different. And he was ridiculed for that. Nothing to do with the stabbing, nothing to do with any type of religion. Just simply hating someone because they look different to you. Why? It makes me sick. To be human. Because I'm not angry at white people, I'm not angry at any type of person, I'm angry at the whole human race. Because look at all the things we are capable of, good and bad, and look at what we're doing. Time and time again, acting like apes. We don't deserve to have this power. It's disgusting. You make me sick. You know, it's a funny thing, you condemn our politics. And I'm not saying I like our politicians. I don't like any politician. But the same people condemning politicians for being wrong, judging other people, are the same ones being violent and saying the most heinous things. Just know that when you condemn someone, you are capable of that and so much more. So much worse. But it's easier to not believe that. To believe that you are the right one, that you are the right race or religion or brotherhood or family. And that everyone should be like you. No one should be like you. You pathetic excuse for a human being. I don't know. It's not just England, it's all of you. Some people, sometimes you meet someone that really makes up for the human race. You think if everyone was like you, maybe everything would be better, but it's just there's so much of this ridiculous behaviour. Trying to defend something that you don't even really know what you're defending, do you? Because your parents have. And you hate someone just because of their heritage, because they have a different upbringing to you. But in your family, likely some of your long lost descendants were murderers or went to prison. But you forgive that. We're so quick to judge people based on their family or stuff they've done in the past. Why can't we all just forgive and understand? I could talk about this forever, but I don't even really know why I'm making this video. It's not certainly for attention. I know it's not going to do anything. But if you're watching this and you're one of these rioters, one of these people that strongly believe in the immigration or anything about Britain for the British, and you think this is all justified, I just want you to know, you don't deserve to be a human being. The type of violence that you're condoning is condemned and reserved for apes. It's funny because a lot of racist people will call someone that isn't white, they'll call them animals, they'll say they're not even human, but what you're doing, your behaviour, that is reserved for apes and gorillas. And animals that know nothing but rage and defending what they think is their own. You don't deserve to be a human being. Forget English, whatever that even means. What, tea, crumpets and an accent? Is that really what you're defending? And God forbid you're a football team. How about you grow up? There's more to life than that, but you'll never understand that, will you? And I'm not even angry. I'm just severely depressed at the whole thing. Because it's not going to change. It never has. We've always been like this. We used to condemn women for being witches. We've been through a world war, found peace, then decided to do it again. And the only reason we haven't got a third world war is because this time it would probably mean the end of the world. So instead we riot. Because anger is always about narrative. It's always about he/she wronged me and now they deserve this. The only thing you deserve is a good long look in the mirror and really ask yourself why. And as for the same people in this world, I'd say something about keep going on, but sometimes I find it difficult to exist. But the best thing you can do is work on yourself and try your hardest, even though it seems it's impossible, to push back against these idiots. And you won't do it every day, because we're all capable of so much terrible nature, but we're also so capable of doing good. So just try your best to actually be deserving of the title of human being. Say less, do more. See you later, Chief.